How the world was made, a Panayan creation myth. In the beginning, there was no time and no earth. There were only two great beings, eternal and vast. One was Kaptan, the sky, a majestic and powerful presence above. The other was Maguayan, the sea, a deep and ever-moving entity below. For ages, they existed in a silent, endless expanse. From the union of the sky's breeze and the sea's salt mist, a third being was born, a great, formidable bird named Manaul. As the child of both sky and sea, Manaul belonged to neither. With no land to rest upon, it was doomed to fly eternally through the vast emptiness between its two parents. Weariness grew into a bitter resentment in Manaul's heart. The bird grew tired of its endless journey, and devised a cunning plan to force its parents into creating a place for it to land. First, Manaul flew up to the heights of the sky. "Oh, mighty Kaptan," it shrieked. "Beware the sea. Maguayan plots to drown you, to rise up in a great deluge and consume your entire kingdom." Kaptan, whose temper was as vast as his domain, roared with fury. His anger manifested as sharp lightning that tore through the emptiness. He began to look upon the sea with suspicion and rage. Next, Manaul swooped down to the surface of the water. "Great Maguayan," it cried, "the sky is jealous of your power. Kaptan intends to crush you, to throw great rocks from his domain to pin you down and destroy you." Maguayan, whose passions were as deep and turbulent as its currents, began to churn and boil with rage. The sea had never considered the sky an enemy, but Manaul's words planted a seed of fear and anger. The trick was complete. Believing Manaul's lies, Kaptan gathered the largest rocks and celestial stones from his realm, and hurled them down with tremendous force, hoping to crush the defiant sea. In response, Maguayan swelled into a furious tide, sending colossal waves and towering waterspouts surging upwards, aiming to engulf the sky. The battle was terrible and magnificent. The sky rained down a storm of rock and earth, while the sea threw its liquid fury back. For eons, the war raged until both Kaptan and Maguayan were spent, their primordial energies exhausted. A truce was called, and a weary peace settled over the expanse. When the chaos subsided, Manaul looked upon the world it had created. The great rocks thrown by Kaptan had found their place, caught by the sea. They stood firm against the calming waters, forming thousands of pieces of land. These became the islands of the Philippines. Tired but triumphant, Manaul descended. It landed softly upon the highest point of a newly formed island, resting its weary wings atop a tall, sturdy bamboo stalk that had sprouted from the fresh earth. With a place to finally call home, the great bird looked out at the world born from its cunning, and the conflict between the sky and the sea. The world was now ready for life to begin. After resting, Manaul heard faint voices coming from inside the very bamboo stalk it was perched on. Curious, the great bird began to peck at the bamboo. It pecked and pecked until the stalk split in two,